J Jinx!
Truck stop!
So while on a road trip, I stopped at a Walmart in the middle of nowhere. I want to say it was like maybe South Carolina? I can't remember. But I found this. This is one of those Ozark Trail combo knife sets. I've seen pictures of this around Reddit. And I was like, ooh, that one looks fantastic. I've never seen it though. And then I did, so I bought it. It was the last one, too. I feel very lucky that I got my hands on this one. It's quite colorful. We got bright yellow, kind of a teal green, and then white, with some other stuff in it. It looks great. Stainless steel blade, plastic handle, a 50 lumen LED flashlight, and they even include the batteries. Probably cheap, shitty batteries. Fly Deer brand. Those damn flying deer. And this is a relatively recent set because they got the brown cardboard and forest green combo look. It has the year 2022 on it. They put out quite a lot in 2022. Wonder what 2023 is going to bring. Alright. Well, we got another one of those molded plastic tray things. Alright, I got these popped out. I accidentally debinked the white one, but that's okay. I got two others. I guess we'll start with the little one. Let's have a look at you. And just so I don't rob myself of the experience, I'll go ahead and do the pink. Well, it's got kind of a checkerish patterning. It's going to be really difficult to show that with the white color, but I think they all have the same patterning, so we'll do it then. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this knife is a little slip joint. Didn't expect that. I don't know if I've ever had an Ozark Trail knife that was a slip joint unless it was a classic pattern like that Trapper, and I think they might have done a Stockman or something like that. But here we have just a single-bladed slip joint, and it's little. We got ambidextrous thumb studs, a stone wash finish, and the white plastic is very flexy, reminiscent of, well, you know the knife. And we got two screws and a lanyard hole. No pocket clip, but it's not riveted. You can actually take this thing apart. So I guess that's a plus. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. It feels very light and very cheap. I'll go down to the teal one. Yes, you can see the pattern a little better now. It's not quite checkerboard. It's, how do I describe this? It's like a stepped geometric pattern. Yeah, it looks like that. Pretty unique. It's a cleaver style blade with a pick. Now this one is liner locked. No back spacer, so be aware of that. Oh, unexpected. This is spring assisted and it's got a flipper tab. Well, that's pretty satisfying. Let's have a look at the lockup and the centering and all the other particulars just so we know what we're getting for our money. I think I paid like $15 for this thing. Centering looks a little off to me. Just a little bit. Just a hair. Maybe, maybe not. It's so close I can't tell. The lockup looks good. What is this thing riding on? Teflon or nylon, probably. Hard to tell. Let me get at a source of light. Where is my flashlight? Well, why look for a flashlight when you got one right here, you know? It's one of those things where it's got like a battery cartridge. They go together in like a triangular orientation. Oh, and it's on. So it works. So this is just a very cheap plastic made to look like metal flashlight. Ooh. That's fun. Maybe this is aluminum, just very, very thin aluminum. Because these grooves were probably made by a lathe in that case. I don't know. Lots of LEDs in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it works. But it feels very light, flimsy, and cheap. But that's fine. Now, what are you? Okay. Plastic, nylon or Teflon. Got it. It's got thumb studs. They work. We got the Ozark Trail logo on the stone-washed cleaver style blade. A couple of things I note. The scales are a little bit smaller than the liners, so it's got that kind of ridge on the back, 2 screws, and a little cutout for a lanyard. The low-ride pocket clip has a medium-ish, maybe medium, not medium high, but a little more than just medium amount of tension. It's the 2 screw through the slot kind of thing going on. No recess at all. It is a little bit small for my thumb, but it works just fine because the liner protrudes a little bit with a little bit of jimping. And the scales are, ooh, yeah, this is a very musical package. When you're out in the woods trying to survive, you can entertain yourself by dropping a beat. Actually, it's about the same size, just a different blade and a different color. Matter of fact, I think they're identical except for those 2 things. Right, first we gotta take off the beak. Yeah, it's spring assisted, low ride pocket clip, yellow scritchety scratch scales. Yeah, it's identical, just with a drop point stone washed blade instead of the cleaver type blade. Let's do a dowel test. I'm going to start doing that now that I've invented it. I detect one small, very, very small imperfection right here. So I can't really see it, but I can feel it. But it's so small, it's like inconsequential. And on the cleaver, that's ground very well. No imperfections whatsoever. And on the little slip joint, oh wow. This one has problems. It feels very rough just all across, but when it starts to curve, that's where I notice a lot of imperfections, especially on cheaper blades, is when it starts to curve. They just can't get a good edge in their factories. This is so rough that it's like stopping the dowel from moving. Wow, that is really, really rough. So I would recommend not using this knife. Look at that edge. Yeah, you can see how rough that is. It's like serrated almost. And now the tool. It's kind of a goofy looking tool, almost like an elongated robot face with a big gnarly looking nose. Well, you have a bunch of different hex screw things, bottle opener, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, one of these like compassy type things with the hash marks. I don't know. Oh, we got the Ozark Trail logo on it though. So there's that. A ruler with 4 centimeters on it. Kind of interesting that they have centimeters and not inches. I like that though. And one of the smallest saws I've ever seen. Look at that. It's about 4 centimeters long. I actually kind of want to try sawing some wood with that to see what happens. What is that? There's like a nasty looking burr in there. How would you hold this comfortably to actually use it? Now, in one of the instances when I saw a picture of these online, someone was posting about it saying, oh, they're trying to rip off Civivi's design for the Elementum. And I kind of wanted to test that or check that out, that aspect out. So I got over here, one of the original Elementum designs, burlap micarta satin finish, very early release. So let's put them side by side and think about it. Not quite the same size. I can see what they're saying though, like the shape of the blade, it kind of widens out towards the base, and you have a very distinct looking cutout for the lanyard hole, but I don't think these are copies of each other at all. I mean, you don't have this troiling going on with the Elementum. The blades look similar, but they're just generic drop point blades. Yeah, I don't think that person was correct. So if you were looking for the poor man's Elementum, don't look to Ozark Trail. Just get an Elementum. They're not cheap. They're not that expensive. Of course, now they have Elementums with like button locks, and they got Elementums that are fixed blades, and they got Elementums that are Damascus, and they have mini Elementums, and anyway, overall, I was actually kind of disappointed. The colors excited me. They're not terrible knives. They're not bad at all for Ozark Trail knives, except for the slip joint. That one, not so sure about. If I had to pick between the yellow and the green, I'd go with the yellow, just because I'm not too much into cleaver-style pocket knives. But I would take a tan flipper over any of these any day. And that's what I have to say about that. This has been JJ Jinx. Truck Stop Knives.